Socky head coach Paul Petty. Coach, you start off the season, a really nice win. And let's take it back to the start of that game because, people, if they look at the final box score, they'll say that was an easy game. You got punched in the mouth pretty early, down 14-0 out of the gate.
Well, and that's exactly what we talked at halftime, something we haven't seen for several years. We get down 14-0, 20-0, and you'll see our fight in us slow down, and then all of a sudden it's 48-0. And I tell you, if I learned anything tonight, it's the character of these kids. That they're starting to grasp the idea that, one, football is a four-quarter game, and it's not over until that final bell rings. And for us to come back with the first score was one thing, but to come out and play, make our adjustments defensively and understand what they were trying to do, get a big hold and turn right around with a turnover and score again. And it put us right in the game, and I think once our momentum started, it was just very difficult to slow it down.
We talked earlier in the week, and the offensive line was going to be a place that you didn't really know about, but man, they came out and really showed out tonight.
And they really did. I tell you, we had a couple close calls where we thought maybe the linemen were getting off the ball, and as I told the coaches, it's really hard to discipline that because that's what we've been asking for almost 6 weeks now, is we got to get off the ball faster. And now they were firing off that ball tonight, and so we have 7 linemen that we were looking at closely tonight. We saw all 7 of them, but next week you may see 5 different linemen solely because all 7 of them played really well. So depending on what we see on film against Auburn, we're still fighting for positions.
And because of that play of the line, your running backs really had a big day, including Jacob Freeman. Talk about his improvement from last year to this year and what you saw from him tonight.
And I think you and I talked about that before the game. He's a different runner, and I tell you, sometimes it does take a young man to 4 years before he gets that speed that he's comfortable with. We're asking kids to do things that no normal human being wouldn't do, and that's run 18 miles an hour, head speed, downfield, and meet somebody, collide with somebody at that same speed. That's not easy to do, and sometimes that 4-year period, we see that with Jacob. He is running, and when you run at that speed, you're not going to take that big shot because they can't angle that speed. They can't get that good shot when you're moving that well, and he's just moving so well. He's very fluid right now, and he feels he's in a zone, I call it.
Bobby played your quarterback position very well, managed the game for you. You didn't get to really see him pass the ball much tonight, but overall you had to be pretty pleased with how he played as a sophomore.
Yeah, I thought he was very composed. I never felt at any time that he was nervous. You most certainly didn't see him panic. We tried to let him throw the ball a couple times there in the third quarter, and we had an open receiver, and he missed the receiver, and the offensive coordinator obviously said, hey, we got to hit that pass, and we do. But I remember trying to hit that pass as a sophomore. It's not the easiest thing in the world when you're a sophomore, so I was very impressed with his play.
Defensively, give up those 14 points in a hurry, and then all of a sudden the defense kind of locked in. They were helping gang tackle the big fullback a little bit more. They figured out he's not a kid you want to try to hit high, and really the defense strung a number of really good series together.
Yeah, and I tell you, like we talked previously, the officiating, they have a heck of a time with all these rule changes. They're all positive and for the safety of our kids. But I thought we had some calls tonight that I thought I saw good football. Wasn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. You're going to get that call go against you because of rule changes, not because of cheap shots. And so, we're going to try to go back to the table and draw up a greater understanding of when you're up by 40, we don't need to be roughing that passer. We need to be not letting him outside the pocket, but not doing things that put us in a position to potentially lose 15 yards or even threaten losing a kid for the next week if it's a personal foul in that venue. So there's a lot of things. We have a long way to go to prepare for next week. Obviously, we're going to see athletes that are better than what we saw tonight. And better than us. But I thought that our secondary adjusted well. I thought our offensive line just played so much faster than we've seen them play in practice and throughout the summer. I'm excited about that. And I'm really excited about the fact that we took a punch. We took a couple punches in the face, and we still came back nose to nose and said, okay, I'm gonna stay here. And we saw what happens when you decide that you can stay in the fight. And I was very, very impressed by that factor.
Should be an exciting night next Friday night at home against Auburn. You have a lot of respect for that program. Dave Bates has been doing it very, very well for a long time. As you talked about, they're always athletic. They're always going to try to put the ball in the air. And your kids now have to work on taking that next step because you're in the exact same spot now as you were a year ago.
That's exactly right. And I think, I knew coming into this game, I felt very comfortable that it wasn't going to be the same Riverton team. I was not surprised we fell down 14-0. I was extremely happy that we bounced right out of that. But we can't give up some of the things we gave up tonight against Auburn, because that won't be 14-0, it'll be 28-0, and that's a much bigger hole to fill in as quick as you need to fill in with 3 quarters left in the game. So we got a lot of work, but I saw a lot of improvement tonight. Obviously the kids are riding high on this, and we'll come back at 8 o'clock in the morning and we'll start from scratch. One of the things we talked about, as I told the kids, it's nothing personal, but there's some conditioning we need to do, and we need to do it very fast, and it started tonight and it's going to continue tomorrow, and so we'll try to heal those that are banged up a little bit, give them a little break, but that conditioning is going to be a big part of us staying late in a fourth quarter game against somebody like Auburn.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck as you prepare this week.
Thank you very much.